Hello to the entire Deep Dive family. I'm the captain, and I'm thrilled we're gathered again for another deep dive into the unknown. Have you ever considered that the greatest display of power in human history wasn't an explosion, but a whisper? A quiet message sent to an asteroid, persuading it to change its course. It might sound strange, but by the end of this video, you won't just believe. This idea, your perspective on our place in the universe will change forever. Because the story is not at all what you think it is. Our journey begins on a cold morning in February 2013. The Russian city of Chelyabinsk was starting its day as usual when suddenly the sky became brighter than the sun. A fiery orb blazed an incandescent trail across the heavens, and minutes later, a terrifying explosion shook the city. The shockwave shattered thousands of windows, injuring more than 1,500 people. The source of this terror was a celestial rock, just 20 meters in diameter, that had arrived with absolutely no warning. This event was a harsh slap in the face for humanity, a wake-up call. We are floating on a cosmic ship called Earth, in a vast, dark ocean. An ocean filled with wandering rocks, asteroids and comets that drift silently, like hidden icebergs, where one small collision could end our journey forever. The common belief is that if a giant asteroid ever heads our way, we should blast it apart with a powerful weapon, just like in the movies. But the truth is far more intelligent and far stranger. Because the first question isn't how do we destroy it, but rather, what are we even dealing with? For years, scientists have been scanning the skies, cataloging all these wandering rocks. They've learned that asteroids have different personalities. Some are monolithic giants of solid rock, dense as an iron cannonball, but many others are more like a rubble pile, a loose collection of boulders and dust held together only by their own weak gravity. Now, imagine firing a cannonball at a pile of sand. What happens? You'd likely just scatter it, turning one large threat into thousands of smaller, unpredictable ones. So, what's the plan? When a mountain of gravel is hurtling towards us at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour and blowing it up would only make things worse, what exactly are we supposed to do? This is where our planetary defense toolbox opens up. Scientists have devised several methods. One of the strangest is the gravity tractor. This involves flying a massive spacecraft alongside an asteroid for years, or even decades. The incredibly weak gravitational pull between the spacecraft and the asteroid slowly, gently, millimeter by millimeter, alters the asteroid's path over time, like an invisible tow truck. This method is elegant and precise, but it requires decades of warning time. We aren't always so lucky. The next option is our last resort and our most powerful tool, a nuclear explosion near the asteroid. But not in the way you might think. In the vacuum of space, there is no blast wave. Instead, a nuclear detonation from a distance unleashes an immense flood of X-rays and neutrons onto the asteroid's surface. This colossal energy instantly vaporizes a thin layer of the surface. This vaporized material acts like a powerful rocket engine, pushing the asteroid in the opposite direction. This method is incredibly effective, but for political and technical reasons, it remains an option of last resort. But our most mature, most tested, and perhaps most clever tool is called the kinetic impactor. The idea is deceptively simple. We crash a spacecraft into an asteroid at very high speed to transfer its momentum, nudging it off course like a billiard ball. This idea became the star of one of the most audacious missions in human history, the DART mission. For the first real-world test of planetary defense, NASA found a perfect target, a binary asteroid system named Didymos. It consisted of a large asteroid orbited by a tiny moonlet called Dimorphos. The plan was this. We will crash the DART spacecraft directly into the smaller moon, Dimorphos. By doing this, instead of waiting to see how much the entire asteroid system's path changes, we can simply measure from Earth how much Dimorphos's orbital period around the larger asteroid changes. A clever experiment in a natural cosmic laboratory. The 610-kilogram DART spacecraft was a lone, determined traveler. Its purpose was not exploration. Its purpose was a magnificent collision. After months of journeying through deep space, it neared its target. In the final 4 hours, the spacecraft's autonomous guidance system, named SmartNav, took full control. From this distance, commands from Earth would arrive too late. DART had to find its target on its own. Its camera locked onto the bright point of Didymos, and then it identified the faint, tiny dot beside it. Dimorphos. In the final minutes, the spacecraft's small thrusters fired with precision, adjusting its collision course toward the center of Dimorphos. And finally, on September 2006, 2022, DART slammed into the heart of Dimorphos at over 6 kilometers per second and went silent forever. The world held its breath. Telescopes across the globe were pointed at Didymos. Had we succeeded? The mission's minimum success threshold was a change of 73 seconds in Dimorphos' orbit. But the result that came back stunned everyone. Dimorphos' orbit had shortened not by 73 seconds, but by 33 minutes, a resounding success. For the first time in history, humanity had intentionally altered the motion of a celestial body. The world celebrated. We had done it. But the real story, the secret that would revolutionize the future of planetary defense, was hidden in the massive cloud of dust left behind by the impact. A secret that would turn our understanding of power on its head. Now, all of this might seem like a distant scientific affair, but just imagine for a moment. This isn't just a story about saving the Earth. This is a story about a fundamental shift in our relationship with the cosmos. For thousands of years, humans looked at the night sky and felt small and defenseless against the power and majesty of the universe. We were passengers on a ship, tossed about by cosmic storms. But this mission, this tiny collision millions of kilometers away, was the moment we, for the first time, took the helm of our own ship. It marks the maturation of a species. Let's return to that cloud of dust. As scientists analyzed the data, they noticed something strange. The force that DART had imparted on Dimorphos alone couldn't have caused such a massive change in its orbit. Something didn't add up. Where did the extra force come from? And here, my friends, is the turning point of our story. The moment everything takes on a different meaning. The true hero of this mission wasn't the DART spacecraft. DART was just the messenger, the spark. The real hero was the asteroid, Dimorphos itself. Let me explain. DART's impact blasted thousands of tons of rock and dust from the asteroid's surface, launching it into space. This massive cloud of material, which we call ejecta, acted like the exhaust from a rocket. The recoil from this rocky explosion exerted a force far more powerful than the impact of the spacecraft itself. It's like inflating a balloon and letting it go. The force of the escaping air pushes the balloon in the opposite direction. In effect, we didn't just hit Dimorphos with a small punch. We tricked it into firing its own pieces as a powerful rocket engine, causing it to push itself. This phenomenon, called momentum enhancement, changed everything. The power from this recoil was more than double the force of DART's own impact. This means the kinetic impactor method is far more efficient and powerful than we ever thought. We don't need brute force to change an asteroid's path. We need a deep understanding of the physics and nature of that celestial body. We need to learn how to use the threat's own internal energy against itself. Perhaps this is the greatest lesson the universe is teaching us. The biggest challenges are not solved by brute force, but by a deep understanding of the system we are in. By finding the leverage point and using the system's own energy to create change. This is a lesson for planetary defense, and perhaps a lesson for life. And so, we return to our cosmic ship, still floating in the dark ocean of space. The darkness is still there. The silent wandering rocks are still moving through the depths of this ocean. But there is one major difference. We are no longer sailing blind. We've built a lighthouse, our telescopes, which stand guard day and night. And more importantly, we've learned to be skilled helmsmen. We've learned that we don't have to fight the storm. We just have to learn how to navigate it. We've learned that we can ask the waves themselves to carry us to a safer shore. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploratory journey. Your presence on this channel is invaluable, and we're proud to have such a curious and intelligent crew. We truly love having you here. If you enjoyed this deep dive, we'd love it if you'd give the video a like to give us a boost, and subscribe to become a permanent member of the Deep Dive family. And in the comments, let us know, where in the unknown would you like our next journey to take us? Perhaps the next time you look up at the starry sky, you won't just see distant points of light. Perhaps you'll see that calm, dark ocean we call home. And you'll remember that now, we are the captains of this ship.